Have you ever felt like what you do really, it just don't matter? Like, no matter what you do, you just feel sometimes, what's the use? Like, it didn't mean anything to the person you did it for? Well, I get it. I've been there and done that, felt that way too, my friend. And that's why today, here on Time to Win podcast, we're going to talk about it. I want to invite you to stick around because it's about to go down. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. We're going to get this party started in just a moment. Welcome to Time to Win podcast, where healing and growth collide with purpose, and you get to heal, grow, and prosper. I'm your host, RJ Jackson. Join me as we take a graceful 90-degree turn from stress and struggling to purpose and prosperity. As a professional impact speaker and mindset coach, I'm here to show you the way out of secretly suffering in silence and help you get back on the path of prosperity, because I firmly believe that you were born to prosper. So if you're ready, let's make that shift. It's time to win, my friend. So let's go fight win. All right, champion, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Time to Win podcast. I'm your host, RJ Jackson, your impact speaker, here to inspire you as a leader at work or at home and your team to elevate your communication, expand your mindset, and enrich your relationships. I am here to help you magnify your impact, because the truth of the matter is, what you do does matter. Even if, my friend, you don't see the results and you don't get the appreciation from the people you're helping. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever in your long-legged life, no, that's not the question. That's not the question. Have you ever considered how the smallest actions can really create a ripple that extends far beyond what we see? Have you ever thought about that? The truth of the matter is, the very things that you do, no matter how small they are, they're just like that ripple. It has a big impact, even if you don't see it right away. So let's talk about what impact means, how it affects us and our relationships, and why it's so important in our homes, on our jobs, and in our community. If you haven't done so, I invite you to grab a cup of coffee, because I'm about to give you a cup of courage. Go ahead, get your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's have a conversation on purpose. So, impact. What does it really mean? Impact can seem like a big word, and at its core, it's all about influence. It's how we affect those around us through our words, our actions, and even our presence. The root of the word impact comes from the Latin word impactus, which simply means to press upon. Now, this idea of pressing upon someone or something signifies a change or effect. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. Let me give you an example. The weight of a hand. Imagine placing your hand on a child's back. The gentle pressure from your hand signifies care and comfort to the child. This act of pressing your hand upon the child's back not only conveys your presence, but also provides comfort, showing how even a light touch can have a profound effect on someone's emotional state. And just like this gentle pressure, our words and our actions either lift up or weigh down those around us, highlighting the significance of our impact. We can say something nice to make people feel good, or we can be mean to make people feel bad. And you've heard it said before, it's not always what you say, it's how you say it that can also impact the receiver. So here's another example, your footprint in the sand. So visualize walking along a sandy beach, and each step you take leaves a footprint, pressing into the sand and creating a mark that won't easily fade. This pressing upon, aka impact, the sand symbolizes how our actions create long-lasting impressions in the lives of others. Just like the footprint signifies our journey, our impact leaves traces in the lives we have touched, whether it's through encouragement, support, or maybe it's just being indifferent. So I get it. Sometimes we believe that the difference we make is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But that's the beauty of impact. It's not about saving everyone or changing the whole wide world. It's about the ripple that you create in one person, one moment, one action. You might have heard the saying, we may not remember the words of our enemy, but we will never forget the silence of our friends. This reminds us that our impact isn't just about what we say or do. It's also about the moments we choose to speak up or stay silent. Think about a time when someone's words or actions changed the course of your day, or maybe even your life. It could have been a simple compliment, a gesture of kindness, a word of encouragement. It could have been something ugly that they said because they were hurting. And we all know that hurt people, leaving an impact on other people as well, right? The moments of kindness, the moments of meanness, the compliment, the kind gesture, the encouraging word, they stick with us, right? We don't forget them. So as we kind of unpack this ideal of impact and the impact of impact, so we can magnify our impact, let's talk about how it influences our relationships. Because every relationship we have, whether it's family, friends, or colleagues, it's really shaped by the impact we have on one another. Our relationships are kind of like gardens. They need care, they need attention, they need a bit of love to flourish. And, as the saying goes, people don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. So take a moment, if you will, here with me today and think about your relationships. Are there areas where you can deepen your connection by simply being more present? Like sending a quick text to check in, a heartfelt compliment, or maybe just taking time to listen. These are little things that can make the biggest difference. And what I love about it is impact is reciprocal. When we invest in others, we often find that people have invested back in us, creating this beautiful cycle of positivity and support. Now, here's where I think we get it confused. I believe we think if we invest in someone, they're supposed to invest in us. Honestly, I think that's far from the truth. I believe we are assigned to people. I also believe that people are assigned to us. And with that, I believe that the people we are assigned to are not necessarily assigned to us. So, what are you saying, RJ? Well, thanks for asking. What I'm saying is, if you do something nice for someone, a friend, a family member, a colleague, coworker, don't turn around and expect them to do something nice for you. And I know we always say, I'm not expecting anything back. That's not what I'm talking about. Here's more of what I'm talking about. So if you're always bringing them lunch, but they never bring you anything, don't say, I always bring them lunch. I wonder why they don't even just bring me something sometimes. Don't say that, because they're not assigned to you. And lunch is not their assignment. Maybe their assignment is to give $1 to the guy in the gas station. And that's not you. Okay? So don't expect people to give back to us because we've given them something. Let me break it down even simpler. You might understand this one. I'm always the one calling everybody, checking in to see how they're doing. and nobody ever calls me. Well, I can't believe nobody ever called you. But here's what I can believe. The people you're calling aren't calling you. Why? Because you are not their assignment. They are your assignment. Are you by any chance picking up what I'm putting down? I'm telling you, this could cost you a lot of freedom. You can stop buying those aspirins for your headache because you're all upset because they're not calling you back. Just understand the assignment. Okay? Understand the assignment. All right, let me take a chill pill here. No, but seriously, I hear this all the time from my clients. Like, I'm always the one. I'm the one doing this and doing this and doing this. And I can't get nobody to do that for me because that's not them. And you're not their assignment. End of the discussion. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's talk about impact and how it impacts our job, our work environment. Because in our job, the impact we make can define our workplace culture. We are building each other up or we're tearing each other down. And the question is, what are you doing? What are you doing when you show up? Are you building people up or are you tearing people down? What kind of impact are you leaving? Because the truth of the matter is, we might press upon something or someone, but it doesn't mean it's a nice press. It could be a hard press, an ugly press, right? Each interaction, even if it's small, contributes to the bigger picture of positivity or negativity. And we never get a second chance to make a first impression. It's true. You get one chance to make a first impression. And that's why impact is so important. We have to remember to be intentional in everything we do because we are making an impact on someone's life. We're pressing upon them our character. We're pressing upon them our values. We're pressing upon them our beliefs and our core values. When we choose to lift up our colleagues, we create an environment where everyone feels valued. And this not only boosts the morale, but it also fosters collaboration. So just imagine, if you will, for just a moment, a workplace where everybody feels seen, heard, and valued. Because in that environment, it's translated to growth and productivity. The same thing holds true in our community. Our communities are shaped by the collective impact of each individual. Have you ever seen a single act of kindness that really inspired you in such a way that you kind of felt like, man, I need to do more. I need to do better and help people out? Well, the truth of the matter is what you do does matter. Whether it's volunteering, supporting a local business, or even simply being a good neighbor, taking care of your dog, helping your children understand boundaries so that they're respecting other people. These contributions matter. And Helen Keller said it best when she said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So consider the change we can create when we work together, all making these small deposits that make a big difference. Every effort counts and it all adds up to something significant. And it's about the collective influence we have when we prioritize the well-being of our community. So when's the last time you stopped to pick up a piece of paper that wasn't necessarily in your yard, but that was in the community? These are the small things that make a big impact. So let me tell you a story. Recently, I visited upstate New York, and while I was there, I was going out with my sister, and we got stopped at a red light, and there was a car in front of us. So I saw this gentleman. I thought he was crossing the street. I watched him approach the car in front of me. And what happened next literally still brings tears to my eyes. I watched this young man get down in the middle of the street on his knees and put his hands up in a begging yet prayerful position, looking at the guy through his window as if to say, please give me something to eat. It was something I'd never seen before in my life. I've been to Kenya, I've been to Thailand, I've been to Cambodia, I've been to Nigeria. I've been to Skid Row. I've been to Mexico. I've seen people hungry. But I've never seen anyone get down on their knees and beg someone to give them something to eat or some money to buy something to eat. It broke my heart. I was like, come to our car. Come over here. Come over here. But by this time, the gentleman, the car in front of me had given him something. I don't know what he gave him, but he gave him something. And he walked away. So he didn't get to approach our car. The light changed. And I'm telling you, although I didn't get to give him anything, I snapped a picture of it. Not to show the world, look at this, but to remind me every day to pray for him. And although I couldn't give him anything physical, I pray for him every day. And that's another way to make an impact on someone's life. I don't know if I'll ever see him again. But what I know is that he touched my life, made an impact on me, and the way I can give back, reciprocate that, because now he is my assignment. I can pray for him. And I can pray for that community, that when other people encounter him, that they will bless him, that they will encourage him. I don't know. That just really blew my mind. Have you ever had a moment where something impacted you so much that it changed your life? This is how I feel right now, that moment in time literally changed my life. It really changed the way I saw people on both ends of the spectrum. Because even though the person in the car gave him something, I don't know if they were looking for something to give him or what, but it just seemed like eternity as he sat there with his hands up, begging and praying. It just seemed like, wow, that was a long time before he gave him something. And honestly, it may have only been 20 seconds, but that's how much it impacted me. What has impacted your life in such a way that you have never been the same, and that you intentionally every day do something different for someone who can never repay you or pay you back? Think about that for a second. And I'd love to hear from you. So I invite you to DM me at timetowinpodcast@gmail.com. That's timetowinpodcast@gmail.com. Tell me your story. I want to hear it. In the meantime, as we wrap this conversation up about impact, I want to emphasize that we all have the power to influence those around us in a positive way. And it starts with being mindful with our words and our actions, whether it's at home, in our relationships, at work, or even in our community. So allow me, please, to leave with you 3 boss moves that you can make an impact today to help you magnify your impact today. Number 1, be present. Take a moment each day to check in with someone you care about. Your attention can make a world of difference. Just this week, I sent out a text to several people to remind them that sometimes we just need to know someone cares and someone's praying for us. And I said, this is your reminder, and I am that person. And I can't tell you how many responses I received back saying, girl, oh my goodness, this was right on time. Like, oh my gosh, RJ, how did you know I needed this? I didn't know. I was just magnifying my impact, making a positive difference in someone's life. I don't need to know. God knows. I just need to understand the assignment. To be present, to be available for people. It only takes a moment, and it makes a world of difference. Practice kindness. Like, every small act of kindness can have a ripple effect. It doesn't matter if it's a compliment or helping someone. Let your actions speak loud. Let them represent who you are. And finally, engage in your community, whether that's your community at work, your community at church, or where you live. Find ways to get involved. Volunteer, support your local events, your small business owners. Your contribution really does matter. And I'm here today to cancel out that thought you have in your mind that it doesn't matter, especially because no one said it mattered. It matters. I'm saying it for them. It matters. So as we close, I want to encourage you to take one of these boss moves and make a move today. Put it into practice this week. Let's create a ripple effect of impact together. Are you with me? Awesome. I knew you would be. I thank you. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you wanting to make a difference, wanting to make an impact. And thank you so much for tuning in to today's podcast. And I want to invite you to join us again next week as we dive in deeper and talk more about impact, sharing some more stories and insights. And until then, remember, you have the power to make a difference, no matter how small it may seem. You can magnify your impact. Don't forget to go back and listen to our previous podcast and join us again next week. If you haven't done so, like, comment, share, and leave a review. We'd love to hear from you. All right, my friend, I'm not tired, but my time has expired. I'm going to have to let you go. But just before I do, I honestly want you to know that you matter, and what you do is making the difference. And thank you for being the best part of the Time to Win podcast dream team. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to Time to Win. I recognize that you appreciate the value provided in today's episode, and for your gratitude, I'm giving you a Time to Win VIP listener badge. So head on over to timetowinpodcast.com. That's timetowinpodcast.com and claim your badge and gain immediate VIP access to more of our next level resources and opportunities, including details on the huddle, a table for 10, the Cure Circle, and the Cure Retreat. Because you've enjoyed today's session, you can also express your gratitude by rating, reviewing, and returning next week with a friend. Oh, by the way, be sure to screenshot today's episode and share it in your Instagram and Facebook story or on your favorite social media platform. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week in the locker room of life, here on Time to Win. And remember, the best time to win is now.